Hello and welcome to the Daily Songwriter, the channel where we find every way to make music every single day. Today, we're going to do an object writing exercise together. This is a simple 5-minute exercise that I really want you to work into your daily songwriting routine. First, what is object writing? Well, if you've been scouring YouTube for lyric writing advice, there's a very good chance you've come across something called object writing or sensory writing. Object writing was coined by Berkeley songwriting professor Pat Pattison, and the whole idea is to use all 7 of our senses to describe a specific object. The goal of all of this is to add powerful, relatable imagery into your songs by describing sensations that your listeners have likely experienced themselves. Now, you heard me say 7 senses, and you may have thought I lost my mind. I probably have, but I know I'm right about this. Hear me out. Now, you know 5 of them. They're old friends: touch, taste, sight, smell, sound. But let's talk about the other 2, organic and kinesthetic. Organic sense describes the feelings that come from your body just being your body. They come from within the body. So when you feel your heartbeat in your chest, when your stomach starts to grumble because you're really hungry, or you feel really parched and dry in your mouth because you haven't had a drink in a while, what you're experiencing is organic sense. Finally, we have kinesthetic sense. Kinesthetic sense describes our perception of the movements of our body, especially in relation with the environment around it. The feeling of falling, spinning, rocking, the feeling you get when you're in a tight space and you really just want to kind of break out of it, you're experiencing kinesthetic sense. Now, why do I want you to check in with these senses every day? It's a good question. For one thing, it resharpens your focus. We are in constant input overload. Object writing helps you kind of slow the world down around you and get grounded in the sensations that you feel from holding or interacting with a particular object. So anytime you allow yourself to think more clearly, you're already making songwriting easier for yourself because you're giving yourself access to other parts of your brain that might be occupied otherwise. For songwriting, it's all about the imagery. You have to remember that you're a storyteller, right? And if you think about your favorite stories, they gave details, they described the smell and the touch and the look of the grass. You're building the skill that will allow your listener to come into the song with you. That is what makes people want to listen to your music, is that they can relate to it, but also that they can feel what you're feeling. You're a storyteller. Bring people into your story. And even better, by doing this over time, you're tuning your brain in to the frequency of everything around you. You're getting into the habit of feeling your sensations so deeply, and that is actually going to inspire songwriting ideas for you. So now we're going to do an object writing exercise together in real time. So anytime you want to come back and do this again, if you want to make this your daily routine, please feel free. I'm literally always here. And I promise you, if you do this every day and build these habits and build these skills, you're going to develop the skill to take the most mundane experience, the most mundane object, and turn it into a deeply personal experience for you and for your listeners. So let's go. I recommend doing this exercise first thing in the morning. It's a really great way to kind of get tuned into your surroundings after the haze of sleep. Now, first, you need to get your canvas. You can use a blank sheet of paper, a blank text document. I've included a worksheet that I use for the activity. You're free to use it as well. I've dropped the link to it in the description below. Please feel free to go grab it if you want to follow along. Now, I want you to go ahead and find any object around you. This is what we're going to use for this exercise. All I really want you to look for is something you can use at least 2 of your 5 physical senses on and 1 of the 2 additional, right, organic or kinesthetic, on this object. So for example, my chair, I can touch it, right? If I move it, I can hear it, but I can also feel the sensation of if I were to drop it down, if I were to spin in this chair. So this would be a great object for me to use for this exercise. I've also created a list of objects that you've probably had some experience with at least one of these, and maybe you can dig into the vaults of your brain and remember what it felt like to interact with these objects. Now, for the next 5 minutes, all you're gonna do is take a moment and observe how your senses interact with this object. Be as descriptive as possible. What do you see? What does it feel like in your hands? Does it make a sound? How is your body reacting to it? And please remember, write without judgment. You might have come along with me for our free writing exercises. This is very similar. No editing, no judgment, no even fixing spelling errors. This is supposed to be a stream of consciousness. Who are you trying to impress? So I'm going to throw up the timer so you can follow along with me. And then after we get through the exercise, we'll explain what to do with your results. Here we go. I'll see you on the other side. Okay, how are we feeling? You might have felt your best ideas pop up towards the end of the exercise. I'm gonna encourage you to just deal with it. Let it go. This is gonna kill the writer in you, but I'm trying to help you train your brain to use the space that it's given to be as productive as possible. And so the tighter the space we give it, the better chance you are giving your brain to learn how to come right out the gate with the best ideas. So what next? Well, the first thing is you're gonna go back through and read through what you wrote. Just look for what stands out to you, what sounds relatable. Think about what might work its way into a song or what actually inspires a song idea for you. You might only find 2 or 3 things that you want to keep, but that's okay, right? The idea is we're definitely building this muscle and you're going to come up with some ideas along the way. So go ahead and store those takeaways, your favorite parts, wherever you keep your songwriting ideas. I actually like to keep a running document every time I do this exercise. And anytime I'm stuck on finding interesting imagery to put into a song, I can come back to this document. And if you're in the zone now, stay here. Take one of those ideas and flesh it out. You might end up with a new song just because of these 5-minute exercise. And I want you to tell us about any hidden gems you found in your work. Please let us know in the comments below. And I sense that that's the end of our time together today, y'all. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you next time. Happy songcrafting.